What's up, guys? It's day 13. Trump is the only president to ever get impeached twice. Not only that, they impeached him with 7 days left in his term. Did he sign the Insurrection Act? D.C. is shut down. I've gotten told there was Chinese troops all over. I got told there was 2 different types of attacks maybe coming. Does anybody have any idea what to think? Well, if you're like me, you're looking around going, my Lord, I cannot lean on my own understanding. I have to look for wisdom in God. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what to tell you about what's going to happen. I went today to do an interview with Jason Hanning, a buddy of mine who's been a sounding board for censorship today. Now, I've got that I'm fixing to edit. I'm going to put in after this part. But as soon as I got home, I thought I should tell y'all at least that to set this up. If y'all were anything like me, y'all were very, very confused. You're very, very annoyed, and you can already feel the anger building up because somebody, somewhere, is bulldonging us. So, with that being said, I just wanted to set that up for tonight. Yes, I know Trump got impeached. Yes, I've heard that there are Chinese troops around. I don't know what to say about that. That should be interesting. And the fact that they have got that many troops in Washington, D.C. Airbnb has been canceled in Washington, D.C. Luckily, we were staying outside of Washington, D.C. So far as I know, as of right now, our trip is still a go. But it could change any moment now. I just want to tell y'all, I love y'all, and I hope y'all watch and pay attention. Listen to this interview I done with Jason Hanning, and just know that this was earlier today, and this was before the impeachment and all the other stuff I heard. So listen to what he has to say about being censored.
About, we're talking 4 years ago, close to 8 years ago now, because it was during his first term. Facebook announced the new algorithm. I don't know if you remember.
I remember something
people
about
talking
it.
about
Yes.
it. They kept it kind of hush-hush, but they announced, we got a new algorithm. You're going to see less, less garbage.
Yes, I remember all that.
That was not what it was about.
Right.
That new algorithm was designed to pick up basically questionable activity that they felt like.
Of course
Carnival,
not.
there's a system that government has called Carnival. Like if you mention the president on your phone line, and kill. If you say certain sentences while you're talking on your cell phone, it sends a flag, and of course they review it.
Yeah, but I'm not going to try not to cut you off. But remember, guys, the stuff that he's talking about is nothing new. It came out in a book called Shadow Factory that was edited like 2005, something like. It was published in 2005, something like that. And all the stuff that they were talking about Snowden released was in that book.
I'll go even one step further.
Please do.
1970, Bob, don't know the specifics. William Cooper wrote a book called The Pale White Horse.
Yes, I do remember that.
Stuff in that is going on right now.
Did you also know that right now, 1984 is the highest selling book on Amazon? I wonder why.
They're pulling it. I mean, they won't let people, they're blocking it. If you type in 1984, they're not letting, search engines are stopping it. They don't want.
Imagine that. Imagine that. The guy who done War of the Worlds and had everybody panic that aliens were invading New Jersey. Y'all should have knew that was BS. Bulldog. That's my new word because I'm trying
Hold on, but wait. You mentioned aliens.
Yes.
Why did President Trump start a space force?
Not only that, why are they now
talking about the government has X amount of days to release any information we have on extraterrestrials? So what? So extraterrestrials aren't real, so then why are they petitioning in government levels to release information the military has about it if they're not extraterrestrials?
This is what.
Why?
Yeah, these.
That's crazy. Why would you do that?
These are the questions that I want to get to the bottom of, and I hope y'all follow along with us. Now, Jason,
we're not crazy.
Well, we might be
crazy, but we're not crazy.
That's still out to be debatable. What we are telling you, though, is the truth as far as we can get. As far as our security clearances, let us get the stuff that public domain you can look up. These are the things that I want to tell y'all about and let y'all make your own decisions. That is the problem with censorship and the stuff that's going on. Nobody gets to make their own decisions. Now, Jason, I told you I wasn't going to interrupt, then I did.
You kind of have to. I mean, that's just part of it. I guess what I'll get to is starting, when Obama first came into office, the program was released, I started noticing, my posts weren't getting the same audience. I have a large following. I'm not like a big, huge social media guy. I'm not a creator. I don't do, I'm not in the limelight. I don't want to be in the limelight, but I post things that I feel are important or things that, I feel strongly about. And I usually always get a large number of reactions from anything I post.
Yeah, because I'm a witness to your point. They're controversial. So remember, Howard Stern got famous
by being exactly that.
Okay, so right now, with this censorship, Howard Stern would not exist. Go ahead.
Exactly, he wouldn't exist. It'd be gone. So I started noticing that my comments were, the comments to my posts were deteriorating.
Yeah.
So, of course, I did the normal thing people would do is I made a dummy account. I made a catfish, I guess you call it catfishing.
Yeah.
I had someone make a catfish account so that I could, log on to their account. And I actually used my son's account as my catfish account. He happens to be in the Army. He's deployed to South Korea right now.
Very cool. Thank him for his service.
So I used his account. And I would make posts, and then when I would go on to his page to see my posts, I wouldn't see them. They wouldn't be there. I'd look for it and search for it. There'd be no post. I'd leave comments on other posts that would reference, like what the president's doing or just, what I've seen. And then those comments wouldn't show. People would respond to me, and they wouldn't show. My son wasn't able to see them. So we asked other people, and there was quite a large group of people, about 30 or 40 people that we, checked into. They had no idea what I was posting.
And this right here is what I'm talking about, guys, because
this was 8 years ago.
Okay.
This isn't now.
Okay.
This was happening 8 years ago.
So you're figuring it out 8 years ago. When we were doing Southern Fried Comics, when we were doing the bar, we had built an audience.
Large audience. It was a large audience.
Not only that, I know how to rile people up.
Oh, yeah.
I know how to get a response out of people. And all these posts I've been doing, no trolls.
They're not seeing it.
No troll. There is
where's the troll?
Yeah.
Where's the troll?
If I was really being seen, there would have been trolls.
People would say something.
Yes, because I know what I've said. I've said stuff to provoke trolls.
That's the point.
Yes.
That's the whole point of trolling is to do that.
Yeah.
If you're a keyboard warrior, that's what you do. I mean, it's fun. I do it.
I know.
I'll troll a post just for something to do.
Yes, and
it's fun.
And this is the point. Even people like us, if we're not seeing the post that we disagree with, that we control, we know good and well y'all are not seeing these posts that y'all would want to troll. So tell me about when did you first... You told me you had an account that they just got rid of.
We'll step to that. If you guys... this is when COVID first started. When we first heard the virus was released, my son, got memos from the Army and stuff that they talked about, just memos about, what procedures they had in place and what they were supposed to be doing. And it wasn't lining up with some of the stuff that we were being told by the CDC.
Right.
It wasn't completely opposite, but it
didn't match.
Yeah, there was enough inconsistencies to draw like heavy concerns. I'm not an idiot. I mean, so I started looking into it, and it didn't make any sense. Dr. Fauci, is that how you pronounce the guy's name?
You're asking a Southern guy how to pronounce a name like that.
Dr. Fauci, I'll go into went on the air on 60 Minutes and talked about specifically the virus. It was the mask issue. That was a huge thing. I was like this huge anti-masker. People were talking about how the masks help. I went into the specifics of how they don't help. Talked about how the filter, blocks, particle sizes down to X amount of microns. And I even posted stuff about, what are the contents of human exhale and exhale breath. There's studies from 2019, 2018, 1985, where, I have asthma my whole life. So, I'm in the respiratory, the respiratory bubble. There were studies of what people exhale. Guess what? There's not water vapor in relaxed exhale. You're not spitting out water vapor unless you're physically running or you're talking fast. And yeah, you can spit some.
Right.
But the virus is smaller than that. That's not how the virus is carried. It's not just in the spit. It's in that air. The particles are riding, piggybacking your carbon dioxide particles that you're exhaling. Anyways, I talked about the mask and specifically the science, how they don't work. I posted videos. There's a video with Dr. Fauci specifically stating the masks don't work in the middle of an outbreak. This was last year now. Mm-hmm. We're in the middle of an outbreak. There was no point wearing a mask. His exact words. He's a very, very,
respectable.
Respectable. He's not your everyday doctor.
He's the one who is supposed to be making the calls. And
yes.
This is the call he makes, and then all of a sudden...
So he posted, there was a video on 60 Minutes. The post is really hard to find now. But he did a thing with 60 Minutes, and he specifically says, wearing a mask is smidges, people are fidgeting with it, Wearing a mask is pointless. So I posted this video with the evidence at what to show how it doesn't work. And I said, so Dr. Fauci now says wearing a mask do help. So I said, so biology has changed? How the virus, this virus, the flu virus, the H1N virus, the bird flu, all of it, the swine flu. So the biology, the makeup of the viruses and how they're transmitted has changed from the beginning of 2020 or whatever to 2021. The virus is different. They tell us we've learned more about COVID. That's why it changed. The virus didn't change, people. It's the same. It's the SARS virus. It's not the same, but it's the same. It's the same form. How it's distributed is the same. So why the masks?
See, these are the questions that I have gotten to the point now to where I would just much rather go and find my own research. That's what we're presenting stuff here, talking to folks like you. Jason,
but it's not about the masks, remember. It's not about...
Yes, no. None of this is about the mask. We're talking the fact that we can't have a conversation and say that masks aren't what they are saying they are.
Let me interject real quick.
Yeah, please.
So because of that, on October 28th, Facebook permanently shut me down. You see people in Facebook jail, they talk about that. They pay, they kicked off their page for whatever reason. So I received, the notification. I'm sure you guys don't need to zoom in on it, but everyone's seen that's been in Facebook jail. The notification from Facebook. If you believe your account was disabled, submit this form for review, blah, 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 blah. Well, I submitted my form for review the very next day, October 29th. And I got an immediate response from Facebook that said, your Facebook account was disabled because it did not follow our community standards. This decision cannot be reversed. I lost years of pictures, conversations, my friends list, people, stuff that I had posted, family vacation events that I used that server as my avenue to have it. Gone. My instant messages, everything that was on Messenger, gone. Everyone that had any communication with me, I was completely wiped from the mainframe. Everything. Anything that I was talking to Chris about, anything I talked to my girlfriend about, anything I talked to my parents about from 2008, wiped, like I didn't exist. If I go to log into my phone, it still shows my account there. Like if I log into my email address, it shows my account and it still shows, notifications, but there's no picture of my account. You can't find my name. I've only got one account. And it's gone. Everything gone. They wiped me. No explanation.
And this, my friends, is exactly why I'm doing this. For years, I enjoyed the free speech. I was a stand-up comic. I've put plenty of stuff on Facebook that should have put me in jail for community standards, let's be honest. But this stuff that we're talking about, I would make jokes and use cuss words that people didn't like. I could get why people would want to censor that for vulgarity, right? I could follow along a little bit on that, but when we're talking about serious things right here,
and
when they're literally trying to reprogram and change human behavior on a mass scale, this is when
they're not trying to. They've successfully done it.
Well,
we're very few now. We'll be the minority now.
Well, I don't know. And
we used to be, but now we're the few.
Here's the thing, though, is I'm finding out that we do have an audience.
Oh, we do, yeah. Oh, definitely.
People are messaging me behind the scenes. People are letting me know they are watching, and for that, we appreciate it. Because you remember the scene in Gladiator when the guy tells him the mob will set you free?
Yep.
This is exactly why we need y'all to watch while we're in Washington, D.C., because we've talked about they're disclosing aliens. Literally right now.
Well,
go ahead.
It's supposed to be disclosing stuff. Whether it's that. He's not going to D.C. to frickin' pick a fight.
No.
He's not going to D.C. to cause problems. Guarantee you, they're going to say he is, though. If he shows up and he's on camp, they're going to say, look, this guy was there to instill a riot.
Look, guys, what I'm trying to do is I don't trust mainstream media. I don't trust CNN. I don't trust Fox News.
Fake news.
I don't trust any of it. What I'm telling you is I'm going to go up there, me and Greg, and we got 2 people going up there to watch our backs. We're going to go up there and we're going to show y'all exactly what we see. And with that being
on-ground accountability.
Exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, all the information to follow to be in the comments. Jason, you have anything else to add to this? Thank you for talking.
It's not, people tend to look at me as a fanatic sometimes. I'm not a fanatic. I'm just not an idiot. I'm about as American as they come. I believe in guns. I believe in freedom. I believe in, self-defense. I've trained in martial arts my whole life. Mm-hmm. I'm an avid shooter. I'm a great marksman. I know I can go out in the woods and survive somewhat okay.
Yeah.
I don't someone they don't like. They don't like that. I don't need to have them take my hand and walk me down the street.
Exactly.
I can do it on my own. I've been in sales my entire life. I don't need the government to tell me or to say, hey, you have to do it this way. There's no other way to do it.
With that being said, brother, thank you for letting me talk to you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your story with these guys. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all make your own decision. That is what we're telling. We don't want to convince you of anything. We want you to actually critically think for yourself, go look for yourself, and then once you figure out, then you'll realize that we're not trying to scare you. We're not trying to bulldog you. We're trying to go, hey, there's some jacked up crap going on.
Censorship is happening. Our constitutional rights are being infringed on a large scale. It's not my opinion. They are doing it. They are doing it to control us. It's wrong.
What else can I say? It's wrong.
It's wrong. It's not America.
See you guys.